Hey, good morning, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Get Busy with Kit and Jim. Today is birthday day, celebration day in so many ways. We're super happy to have as our guest Larry Fournier. Did I say that right, Larry?
Close, Fournillier. Fournillier, yeah.
And special guest star Christine Bowen. Christine, welcome.
Thank you, James. How are you?
Oh, I'm great. It's so good to have you guys here today. And our birthday girl, Carolyn. Good morning, Carolyn. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
I'm looking for the where is it?
For the happy birthday. So we've got a lot to talk about today. Today's just going to be a fun day, a laid-back, kind of kick-back day on Get Busy with Kit and Jim. So happy to have Larry here with us all the way from Trinidad Tobago. Larry, if you wouldn't mind taking a minute and introducing yourself, that would be awesome.
Sure, thank you. Good to see everyone. First time I'm hanging out with Kit, with Carolyn, and with you, James, and of course the guy of the hour, Greg. Right. I'm Larry Fournillier, Trinidad and Tobago, and I basically cook and do other things on Google+. I lived in the U.S. for about 33 years. I was born in Trinidad, emigrated to the U.S. at a young age, and then moved back home, where I sort of honed in my culinary skills. I opened a restaurant, a small restaurant, with a friend of mine, who's also a local chef, and he and I, did some magic, and then Google Plus came along, and I started posting a lot of my food and creations in the earlies on Google Plus, and that's where I met Christine. And the rest, as they say, is history. But we'll dive into more as the show goes on, because it's not all about me, because we have other people here, and I don't like all that attention, as I told you, James. I'm just a regular guy, doing regular stuff, and love to meet people, and I'm somewhat of a social butterfly.
That's awesome. Hey, welcome, Larry. So I also want to introduce Christine. So Christine, if you wouldn't mind taking a moment and introducing yourself, that would be awesome.
Oh, awesome. I'm really excited to be here. Carolyn, it's our first time meeting, but happy birthday. I'm so excited to be able to celebrate with you, and thanks to all of you for the invite. My name is Christine L. Bowen. Simply put, I'm a visual communicator and a professional networker. That's what I do by day. But for fun, I am laid back. I'm from Jamaica. That's how Larry and I have a tie. We're both Caribbean king and queen. So when I embarked upon Google Plus at its inception, that's when Larry and I connected through a mutual friend, and it was just as if we had known each other forever. And I'm really excited to be able to be here with you, Larry, and everyone else.
It's good to be here too.
Hey, Christine, so this is a reunion of sorts, right? Because it's been a little while since you and Larry have been together on the same show.
Yes, it's been about 3 years, maybe.
Well, actually, Christine, we were, you remember when we got invited to the Hangout during the Olympics? That was in 2012 with Usain Bolt, who was from Jamaica. We got invited to a great hangout. Google London was putting it together, and they had Usain Bolt in the hangout, and they wanted some folks from the Caribbean. So Christine and I were invited.
That was
exciting. Yeah, that was a great hangout. Yeah. That was a great hangout.
Oh wow,
that's the last time we were in a hangout together.
Together, yeah.
Well, now you're together again, right?
Yeah.
I'm glad that it could happen on Get Busy, because that's what we're all about, bringing people together, right? So, hey, Carolyn, happy birthday, birthday girl. How's it going?
Thank you very much. It's a great day to have had another year behind me and be looking forward to another one.
Awesome. And hey, my partner in crime, Kit, how's it going? I
Pretty
love
good.
the look you've got wrapping there. What is that? What are you wrapping this morning?
Well, I think I'm going to steal Christopher Vogelman. He said he wants to look at the Hangout cats. I'm a Hangout cat for today. So I'm hanging out with the, yeah, so I'm super psyched because Christine, I actually checked out her website 2 days ago, and it was so impressive. I love the introduction video that you have on your website, the Create, Live, Be policy that you have. I really love it. And Larry, this is the first time we are hanging out together, and I've heard so many great things about you. I think it was Catherine Kota who actually kind of connected me to you, and she said, he's like the coolest guy on Google Plus. So I was like, I have to circle him, and you know so much about Indian cuisine, so it's going to be amazing.
Yeah. Well, I'm part Indian, so
Yes.
that's why I love the and got the skills to do it from my grandmother. But yeah, Catherine Katau, she's a great gal, and I'm glad she made the connection though.
Yeah, she's lovely. And I don't mind giving you a spare bedroom here. I want you to come over and cook for me, so I don't like
you will have to take a number, Kit, because everybody wants me to come and cook. Because if you notice, I have never cooked on air, except when I was at the Hurl in Denver last year.
Okay.
I purposely got in front of the camera and I barbecued some chicken. And that was the only time they saw me cook. And even though I did some HOAs at the Hurl house, we featured some of the sponsors, and I assisted them in the kitchen. I didn't, actually. So nobody has really seen me cook except the ones who followed me, during that Hurl event, and the ones who were at the Hurl, because I cooked breakfast for them and I cooked lunch and dinner sometimes.
Wow.
Hey, so there is evidence that you're a chef.
Yes.
How we can make this really efficient? We'll just all head down to the.
I'm so glad.
We'll just all head down to the Caribbean, Larry, and hang out with you and have you cook, and that'll make it much more efficient.
Yeah, exactly. That's the only time I'll probably cook for you guys if you come to Trinidad, or if I come visit you guys at your individual places of abode.
Well, I live in Southern California, so it might be a good trip for you.
I was in California last year, actually, when I got invited to cook for some Googlers. Oh, I did cook at Google last year, right after the Hurl in Denver. I went to Mountain View, and I cooked for about 25. So they have seen me cook. So
there's more evidence. Google has evidence.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. I cooked for about 30 people. Yeah, 25, 30 people.
Oh, cool. Well, tell us, since you brought that up, tell us a little bit about that. How did that come together, and how did that go?
It came together really kind of suddenly, because they found out I was going to be in the U.S. for the Denver Hurl, and they said, well, hey, how long are you going to be up here? I said, well, probably about 3 weeks, because the Hurl was going to be a week. And Ermaine Namair, she's the one who's also a good friend of mine, and we met in the release, and she was one of the participants and the organizers, like myself, of the Hurl. But anyway, got invited over to California, and I told them, well, yeah, I'll come over there and cook. They were having on a Friday, which was the 11th. No, it wasn't the 11th. It was the anyway, I can't remember, but it was early part of September, or mid-September, and went over there, and they had everything, organized everything for me in the kitchen. They even had one of the chefs helping, one of their sous, and he was sewing for me. I sent them the ingredients, the list of the recipes and all the ingredients that I needed, and everything was there, labeled, spread out. All I had to do was show up and execute. And we did it. I cooked like 5 dishes for them, all Caribbean, because that's what they wanted, and that's what I was, I'm known for, Caribbean cuisine. and we did some. I did some curry chicken with chana. Kit could probably relate to that. Something called kalaloo, which is a vegetarian. It's all vegetables. Christine will probably relate to that one. I did a chat salad. Again, Kit could probably relate to that. I did kuku. Christine. and I put it all together with some basmati rice, and everybody enjoyed it. They took photos. They had a good time. Got a lot of swag, and it was great. It was a great experience. Yeah. Cooking in Mexico doesn't suck.
That's a wonderful comment to highlight it.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Thank you, hey, Greg, Trinidad and Tobago isn't that far. Road/boat trip.
Yeah. A cooking
Oh
world.
yeah, we should just get a sailboat off of either Coco or Tampa.
Yeah, there we go. We'll just have to map out which coast is closer.
Yeah.
Hey, Greg, welcome back to Busy and Kit and Jim. How's it going?
Oh, great! It's good to be back. Have a little bit of breathing room and not buried under so much work lately. So, you know, it's nice. And plus, we're able to celebrate Carolyn's birthday today, which is awesome. Even though it's going to be followed mostly by work after this, but we have a few things planned later in the evening.
Oh, awesome. Okay. Will there be evidence? Will there be evidence of what's going on later in the evening, Greg?
Oh yeah, there will be pictures.
Awesome.
You bet. I'm trying to talk Adam Avitable into showing up, so that will be guaranteed to be memorable.
Oh my God.
You remember Adam?
Oh yeah.
And we're going to be meeting up with Chef Dennis as well and his wife. So.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
So 2 chefs in my day. I'm a very, very lucky girl.
Right.
Well, I actually, thanks for reminding me, Carolyn. I put together a special takeoff on the Larry Hito, which is a takeoff of the mojito, for you on your special day. I just posted the recipe in the comment on the event. Sorry.
Thank you very much. I was actually just taking a look at that too. I'm so excited to try that. I might have to take it to the restaurant with me for dinner tonight and challenge them.
Yeah, let
I like that.
Let the bartender, try it out. Put it together for you.
Yeah. Should be fun.
Yeah.
Hey, Carolyn, we want you to video making up the Carolyn Hito. Right? We want video evidence of you making, or Greg. Maybe have Greg make it up.
No, she could do it through glass. Now that she has frames, she actually has frames for her glass now, so she doesn't have to put contacts in.
Awesome. Yes. Oh, cool. So,
yes,
Carolyn, I think that's it. Making the Carolyn Hito via Google Glass. Right?
I can do that.
Yeah.
Yep.
That would be awesome.
Check her out.
We'll do that.
Classic.
We'll videotape that. We can do that. Oh, and of course, Cheryl's reminded me, of course, we're going to owe more fire pit videos.
Yep.
Greg made an amazing animated GIF of that this weekend.
Oh.
Yeah, the fire pit's pretty awesome. It makes Florida hotter, which I didn't really think was possible, but it definitely worth it when you can make things like s'mores. Even though I'm not a kid, I'm still going to eat s'mores until like I'm 85.
Oh yeah, it's so good. We actually even worked on a variation of s'mores where you actually take a waffle cone, stick the marshmallow and chocolate inside it, wrap it up in aluminum foil, and stick it in the fire.
Wow.
Oh, really?
Yes. And then stick it on top of some ice cream.
Oh, hey, Carolyn, I think you need to trademark that.
I wish I could. I found it on Pinterest.
Oh well.
So too late, but it's definitely, I endorse that idea.
Well, hey, you know what? Put a Carolyn Gregg spin on it and make it your own.
Yeah, exactly. We'll have to see what we can innovate, Greg.
Yeah. We'll think about it.
Don't think too hard about it now, Greg.
Oh, goodness.
So, hey, Larry, so tell us, okay, originally I thought maybe you had grown up in the Caribbean, but it sounds like at an early age you moved to the United States. So tell us a little bit about how that came together and, yeah.
Yeah, sure. Well, my dad worked for the American Embassy at the time, and he basically was moving on, and he was able to secure visas for the family, which is my mom, sister, myself. It's a small family, and they moved up originally earlier, and then my sister and I joined them in '73, and I started high school then in Baltimore. Moved to Baltimore, Maryland, and after high school, I decided to wasn't going to go to college just yet. Did an odd job selling light bulbs right after high school,
cool.
And which was, it was. And then I got this opportunity to work at Baltimore Gas and Electric as a entry-level draftsman, because I did kind of like drafting when I was in high school. It was Baltimore Polytechnic Institute. So I worked at Baltimore. My career started at Baltimore Gas and Electric, BG&E, and then I decided to go back to school because one of the classes that I took at Baltimore Polytechnic Institute was Introduction to Computers, and that time computers were, filled up the whole room, and we had key punch cards and running Fortran 77, and it was just, but it fascinated me, and I decided to go back and to night school. The company was paying for my my tuition, and as long as I maintained a C average, which of course I probably got like B's and stuff. But anyway, did that, got my enrolled at Johns Hopkins, which was close to my place of employment and home. So I was taking night classes there, but they didn't have a computer science degree program at night. They just had it during the day. But of course, I was working full time, so I couldn't. So I enrolled in the pre-engineering curriculum, which later on I was able to transfer those credits to University of Maryland, which at that time they were offering a computer science degree program at night. So that's why I transferred from Johns Hopkins to University of Maryland, so I could get my ComSci degree. And after that, of course, I was promoted to systems analyst. But at the same time now, I always had a passion for cooking. Mm-hmm. And at the office, I would they would love me to make dishes, like when we have Christmas parties or any sort of birthday events. They wanted me to make something from Trinidad. That's what they would say. And so that's how I kept my cooking passion going, because it's always been a passion of mine. So anyway, I worked at BG&E for 22 odd years. Left, did a consultant, a job for Y2K, the biggest ripoff there was.
Yes. Yes.
So I was involved in that scam.
You were part of that, huh, Larry?
that was the beginning of my pirate days. But anyway, did that, and then afterwards I moved to Florida, where my parents eventually moved to. Mom wasn't doing well, so, and I wasn't. I was divorced at the time, and you know, I wanted to move anyway. So sold my house, moved to Florida, stayed with mom and dad, and mom eventually passed because she had cancer. So dad was alone, stayed with him for a little while. Then I moved back to Trinidad after he, you know, settled himself. So when I came back to Trinidad, that's where I really pursued my my cooking, my passion, moving back here, because back here is where all the action was happening. You know, happening. I met my that friend of mine, the guy who I opened the little restaurant with, and we teamed up, did some great stuff together. And today, fast forward into today, I have a small catering business called Island Cuisine, in which, you know, we do private jobs, small jobs, mostly around carnival time, which is in the February time of the year. Yeah, and during the year we do small gigs for particular customers, not any and everybody. You know, we would have small dinners, small lunches, stuff like that I would cater for. But coming on Google Plus now, it's totally changed my whole world, basically. And I love the platform, and being on here, meeting such great people like everybody in this hangout, as well as the folks out there. And it has afforded me a lot of opportunities, I must say, and continue to afford opportunities.
Hey, that's awesome, Larry. Can you tell us a little bit about what city in Trinidad do you live?
I live in a small hamlet called Maraval, which is a small town on the outskirts of Port of Spain, which is about 7 clicks northwest of the city, of the capital, downtown Port of Spain. It's out in the country. It's a population, it might be a couple thousand people, and
Nice.
the entire country, the entire island has a Trinidad and Tobago, a combined population of 1.3 million. But it's still not a cramped place. People live in pockets basically throughout the year. There are a lot of greenery and mountains, and it's really a beautiful island. But I live in the northwest part, like I said, a small village called Maraval, which is about 5 clicks or 5 kilometers from the north coast, which has a lot of nice beaches. So, well.
And hey, Larry, tell us a little bit about the culture. What's the culture like? What's it like to live in Trinidad and Tobago?
Well, Christine, what it's like to live in the Caribbean, girl? It's great. The culture between the Caribbean islands vary slightly, because everybody have their own way of doing things, their own way of doing a particular dish. Like between Christine and I, she might do a curry, because curry is prevalent throughout the Caribbean, but she might do it slightly in Jamaica than we do it here in Trinidad. So, but answering your question, it's a very cosmopolitan island for number one, because we have many races down here. We have, of course, the Africans, the Indians, 40%, and the other would be comprised of the Lebanese, the Syrians, we have Chinese, and the Asians. The Europeans and North Americans. So basically, it's it's set up like that. The culture, it's a very laid back, happy go lucky. And my dad is just came in.
Hey, Dad.
Yeah.
How's it going?
The door is locked. But anyway, let me get back to that.
Sure.
Let me go and open the door for him, and I'll be right back.
I'm going to jump to Christine. So, Christine, tell us a little bit about your background. So, you're originally from Jamaica, born in Jamaica?
Well, my story is similar to Larry's, but a little bit in the reverse. Both my parents and their parents are Jamaican. My heritage, my mom is Indian, Kit, and my dad is mixed Indian and black. And I was physically born in Brooklyn, New York. Nice. And when my parents divorced at a very young age, I was 7, going on 8, my mom decided to move back home. So she moved back to Kingston, Jamaica, which is the capital. We actually lived in the suburbs called St. Andrew, and I grew up, I consider myself to be Jamaican. I grew up there, my formative years, my lifestyle, my way of thinking is just like home. So I was there until I moved back as an adult at 21, which was like last week.
Right, yes.
And since being back, this is like a second home for me. I've been in the DC area for the 22 years? You can do the math. And I love it here. And I find it interesting that Larry was actually here in my stomping grounds before he went back to Trinidad. I didn't realize that, so that was nice to learn about him. So I love it here. But I do miss home. I miss the laid-back lifestyle. I really do.
Right. So how do you bring that with you? How do you bring the culture and the lifestyle with you, like on a daily or regular basis?
That's a great question. I do my best to remain connected to my roots, and that's through my mom. So she's so Jamaican through and through. She loves her country, and she keeps me grounded in that way. And I speak to her pretty much every day. But personally, I make sure that I take the time to, they say in Trinidad, lime. We say chill in Jamaica, just to cool out every single day. I cool out, whether it's with a cold beer, some good food, some great people. I make sure to do that every single day, have my chill out time.
That's awesome. And how do you think bringing your culture into your business, is there any impact there?
Well, I don't know about Trinidadians, but Jamaicans have this reputation for being like doing multiple things at the same time. And sometimes I feel that way. I have my hands in different pots, but I feel that they all connect. So the main thing is the entrepreneurial spirit. Jamaicans we're very independent, we're very forward thinking, and I try to infuse that into what I do every day and with my business partners. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, there was a running joke back in the U.S. and they performed a few skits on some of the shows, like in Living Color, where they would say, Jamaicans have like 10 jobs. and it's true, they're very industrious people. I mean, they will do like Chrissy just said, they will do multiple things. Whereas here in Trinidad, it's so laid back. The work ethic here sucks. I'm Trinidadian, but I grew up most of my years and formative years in the U.S. So I have and worked for a corporation. So I have, gotten a good work ethic. I've developed a good work ethic. So that transfers well to what whatever I'm doing. But the average Trini, love the lime.
Love the lime. Hashtag love the lime.
Yeah, and any excuse for a lime, they will do it. Like, okay, this is a short week here in Trinidad. Thursday and Friday are public holidays. Corpus Christi is on Thursday, and Friday there is Labor Day. But Labor Day normally will fall on the same day as Corpus Christi, but because everybody has the mindset of, any excuse for a lime, they made Friday an official holiday. So this is a short week, and therefore we have a long weekend. And there'll be a lot of lime going on.
Kit, Greg, Christine, Carolyn, let's head to Trinidad for that long weekend.
Yes. Actually, Carmen, Cheryl, Christopher, we're all planning it already in the comment section. So
Good. Okay.
we're going to hang out with the pirate.
Hey, I'm gonna throw this to the panel. I'm gonna let you guys take over for a little bit. So Kit, Greg, Carolyn, Christine, feel free to jump in, ask Larry any kind of questions that you like. I'm gonna back out of the way here for a little bit.
When are you coming to Chicago to cook for me, Larry? And maybe even stay with me so I don't have to cook anymore.
Well, actually, I won't be too far. In July, I'm supposed to be coming to Indianapolis.
Oh my God!
So
there you go.
that's for a short time. Maybe I might. Yeah. That sounds very inviting. That's very inviting.
No, my husband will be really glad to eat good food for a change.
Yeah,
he has to put up with my cooking, which is not.
We spoke earlier in the green room, and you said most of your food is sort of bland, right?
Yes, and he loves spicy food, so he has to put up with my bland salt. I just flavor it with salt and nothing more. So he's like, he'd love good food for a change.
Well, I feel sorry for him, and because of that, I might make a considered effort to come there and give him some good food.
Yes. He'll marry you and let me go. He just needs his food and sleep, and he's a happy guy. So.
You make him sound like a cat, Krithika.
Yeah.
Not too far away. Not too far away comparison, yes.
Oh, goodness.
and
Larry.
And speaking of Lyman, with the World Cup, we're big on the World Cup down here in the Caribbean.
Right.
Yes, I'm sure. Attest to that. And today's game, Mexico versus Brazil, because most of the Trinidadians, if we are not in the World Cup, if Trinidad Tobago is not in the World Cup, they would back Brazil. Most people here back Brazil. So today, it's Lyman. The match starts at I think 12 o'clock my time, and the bars will be filled, and people will be having limes at their homes. Those who decided to take an early long weekend.
Hey Larry, I think every day is a weekend in Trinidad, from what I'm starting to learn.
Well, I mean, like every place else, like every place else, there are problems. It's not total paradise. Yes, the weather and everything is great, but there is a side that you have to be careful where you go. I mean, like every place else, you don't go in the bad areas, late at night by yourself. Like anywhere in the world, you don't do that. But for the most part, the people here are very friendly, very warm, very accommodating. They love their bellies, meaning that they love and
sounds a lot like India, I tell you.
Well, 40% of the population here is East Indians, so yeah, that sort of carried right through into the culture.
Yes, we love our gut.
and you see, that's what makes Trinidad so unique and so beautiful, because of the melting pot, the cosmopolitan sort of makeup. Everybody bring their own thing to the party, so to speak, and it's one love. Bob Marley's phrase, one love.
Oh goodness! I want to know from both you, Larry and Christine, what your favorite dish is to cook, both Caribbean and non-Caribbean.
Ladies first, Christine.
Boy, that's a hard question. I love food. Larry's right. In Jamaica, we love belly too.
You know, I really don't think that's a bad thing.
I know, right? My favorite food to cook, honestly, is curry shrimp. Curry shrimp and a side that we call roti, which is a flour type of a carb, and it's flat, kind of like a tortilla but thinner and in layers. Kit, you should know about roti.
Yes, I'm nodding my head.
No, I have to put a disclaimer. Even though I make roti, in Indian culture, they probably just call it fried flour because it's not really and my favorite non-Jamaican or Caribbean dish would be anything grilled, particularly grilled steak. Favorite.
Very nice choice. Very nice choice. All right, Larry, you're up.
Okay. I grew up eating curry because I was telling Kit earlier, my grandmother is direct descendant from India, motherland. And so curry was a big part of my household. And my mom used to make a great roti. And she taught me how to make roti. And basically, like what Christine said, it's a flatbread. And you could put between the skins, you could crush some chickpeas or chana and mix it with a little cumin, and that goes in the middle, and then you eat that with the curry chicken, curry shrimp, curry goat. Oh, I love curry goat. And goat is a big protein that they use in Jamaica too, right, Christine?
It is. It's like the national food, but I eat goat, but I'm not a huge fan of goat.
Yeah, I love goat. You just had to put it in the pressure cooker to soften it because it's a very tough meat if you just cook it like that because it's so lean, and the goat's it's a lean meat, no fat, very little fat. And as far as the non-Caribbean dish, I would say I do a mean carbonara. Italian.
Nice.
Very nice.
If I'm not cooking Caribbean, I cook a mean pasta and a carbonara sauce.
Love that. Spaghetti carbonara was one of my favorite dishes growing up. It's pretty much, it was my dad's favorite dish to cook for his birthdays, actually.
And how I learned to cook that was through a neighbor in the U.S.
Excellent.
Yeah,
Italian neighbor?
Italian neighbor, yeah. So and she taught me how to make a good marinara sauce too. It takes like 8 hours to make a proper marinara sauce.
Oh, can you tell us more about that? Because Greg's actually got a lot of tomatoes, and I actually think it would probably be useful to know how you make a good marinara sauce out of them.
Yeah, you just use as fresh tomatoes as possible, tomatoes, as I say. Of course, you put in your when you start your pot, put your oil, and then you put the carrots and capsicum, which are the green or green peppers. Don't use red because red changes the taste. Use green or yellow. At least that's what she told me. Don't use red pepper because it'll change it. And then you put in the other herbs and just let that simmer, let that cook down for good part of the day. So if you have a slow cooker, it'll be ideal. Once you start it on the stove, you could put it in the slow cooker and just let that simmer all day and let the sauce come in.
So is the idea that you chop up the tomatoes before you put them in? Or
you chop it up, but she used to put it whole. She used to not poach it, blanch. She used to blanch them and then take the skin off and then put it in.
Oh, okay.
And let it cook down. Let it just cook. And you add your little salt and the taste it, every time you keep turning it. But the main thing I remember, do not put red peppers.
No red peppers. Got it.
No.
Awesome. Hey, Eamon Johns wants to know about your favorite paella recipes.
Well, being that we are so close to Venezuela is only like 7 miles to the west of where I am. 7 miles from the last point in Trinidad. So we have a lot of Venezuelan influence here in Trinidad and Tobago. But a paella, it's so subjective. I mean, you could put anything you want in a good paella. But the traditional paella, you have your seafood, and then you have your pieces of meat, and of course, to get the rice as yellow, you use your saffron or your turmeric. That's basically how I do it. I don't cook paella as often as I used to, because it's, to get all those various pieces of seafood. If I'm cooking fish, I'm cooking fish. If I'm cooking mussels, I'm cooking mussels. So, but yeah, in the earlys, I used to, do a paella often, and I have a friend from Venezuela, Jorge, and he was a chef at a restaurant not too far from where my partner and I had our little place, and he did a main paella, and I kind of picked up some of his techniques when he was down there, and that's when I started to make a lot of paellas. But I've since, not done it again. Mostly it's strictly Caribbean food that I prepare.
Hey,
Well, we're definitely we're messing with people's emotions, apparently. So we better get off the subject of food.
Okay.
well, hey, when you have Larry on the show, that's 90% of the show, right? It's all about food. So, hey,
story.
Larry and Christine, I have a little bit of a Caribbean connection. So I lived in Caracas, Venezuela for 4 years growing up. Right? So just across the way from you, Larry, actually.
Yeah. We have a lot of Venezuelans. Actually, there are so many Venezuelans living in Trinidad now that the city corporation in Port of Spain and San Fernando, which is the second city down on the south part of the island, they have now put the names of the street in English above and Spanish below.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
So, because there are a lot of Venezuelans here, there was some political after Chavez,
Right.
and the new regime was taken over. They basically have, the whole economy and all those political things around it. The people are all fleeing. And
So-
they're coming to Trinidad, they're going to Guyana, they're going to Suriname, they're going up the islands, just getting away now, and that becomes a problem with the immigration services. So a lot of them, what they're doing, say they're coming to study English as a
interesting.
ruse or guys. And some of them are coming to study English, but after they study for a year, they're supposed to go back. But a lot of them, get lost in the system.
That's interesting. So it's not too far from what's going on here with some immigration issues that we're having. But Larry, so how does one get from Venezuela to the island? Is there a ferry boat that goes across?
There isn't a designated ferry boat, but there's an air bus that goes back and forth. But people who come here illegally, they would come in pirogues or small boats, because, like I said, we are so close. And the south part of the island, the southwest peninsula, that is even closer to Venezuela, and that's on the calm part of the island, which is the Gulf of Paria. The water there is like a lake between Trinidad and Venezuela. So a lot of them, and there's an Indian village right on that point in Venezuela where they would have their shipment come across. And also, with people coming across, there's also drugs coming across. So is a problem, and the Coast Guard basically monitors that part of the island more regularly than the other parts of the because, I mean, Trinidad is surrounded by water right around, so the Coast Guards have a tough job, you know, keeping sure that you know, the borders aren't porous, so to speak. But it's like everything else, you know, it's challenging.
Right. So Larry, another question: what is there commerce between Venezuela and Trinidad? And what about other parts of South America? Is there commerce?
There's a body called CARIFTA, which is made up of the islands in the Caribbean, where there's free trade between the islands, meaning that there aren't any taxes or customs duties that the goods that come into the island, you know, they don't charge. They're duty free, in other words. To encourage commerce between the islands. Venezuela, we don't deal. There's no trade between Venezuela, because Venezuela, their biggest export is oil, as Trinidad and Tobago, because we have oil. Because we are so close to Venezuela, you know, we are sitting on an oil deposit. You know, so we have a lot of oil refineries. Well, there's one refinery, but places like companies like BG and Shell and BP, they have wells around the island, and you know, our main economy is oil and natural gas.
Nice.
And we sell that too to the other islands.
Awesome.
Here, I thought your main export was curry.
You know, but you know, a lot of people think tourism is a big thing here in Trinidad, but it's really not, because, like I said, our economy is based on oil and natural gas. Now, Tobago, we push tourism for that island, even though Trinidad and Tobago is one. Tobago is like the resort. Tobago is beautiful, actually. The beaches are beautiful. It's a small island. The people just as Trinidad, but they're actually a little nicer. they sometimes don't like Trinidadians to come over there, because they say we tend to be too rowdy, and you know, everybody want to party, and you know, just and they are very serious about their tourism industry, and they take it very, and the island is beautiful. If you've never been to Tobago, I think you should go at some point. There's one beach, Pigeon Point, which was voted in 2011 it was number 2 in the top beaches in the world.
Wow.
All right.
Really,
Sounds good.
Yeah. So when I want to charge my batteries, and just relax, Tobago.
That's where to go.
Is it easy to get back and forth between Trinidad?
There are 2 ferries, and there's an Airbus back and forth, and it's only 20 minutes by plane. So by the time the plane takes off, don't bother to go to the bathroom because it's going down. And that happened to me on my last trip to Tobago. We were drinking at the airport. Some friends and I were going over and got on the plane, and lo and behold, as the plane take off, I had to pee. So the stewardess said, your seatbelt has to remain on all the time because, like I said, they go up and then they go down. So I told the lady, I said, look, I have to use it. She said, okay, but we landing soon. Gone to the bathroom, and as I got there, started to do my stuff, the plane started. I heard, sir, we're getting ready to land. So the trip, it's short, But on via the water taxi, as we call it, there's a fast ferry and a slow ferry. The fast ferry, you get there in 2 hours. The slow ferry gets there in 4.
Wow.
And they run daily.
I'm coming to Trinidad. I was going to go visit home, but I'm coming down there.
Yeah, I just saw Carolyn says, yes, Christine, you should. Jim Shanko, how is it about architecture? Spanish or British mostly? Jim, to be quite honest with you, we've passed through so many hands. British, French, Dutch at some point. That wasn't long. And what was the other one he said? British, French?
British, yeah. Spanish and British.
So the architecture varies. And you would, certain parts of the city in Port of Spain, you can see, when the Spanish were living here, some of the buildings, like St. Joseph. St. Joseph was the first capital of Trinidad, and that was a Spanish town. You go there, it's all Spanish architecture. You come into Port of Spain, you see French architecture, because the bourgeois or the well-off French, they had these nice homes, and they're still maintained. The Dutch, which I think the Dutch, they were here for a hot minute till the British kicked their ass and sent them out. But they left their mark even, especially in Tobago. There's some Dutch architecture, like the Dutch doors. When growing up, I remember the house that I grew up in. The back door, it was sawed in half. There were 2 pieces. So the top you would open up, and the bottom would be locked. So you open up the top half to get breeze, and then the bottom, if you have to go out, you open it, and then you go in, and then you close it behind you. But it was like this, two halves, a door saw in half, basically. So that was part of the Dutch influence. And of course, the British, they were the last to rule till we got our independence in. I forgot. Yeah, I think it was in the late 50s. It was, I think in 57 or 58.
Hey, Larry. So Christopher Vogelman says, when I want to relax and recharge my batteries, to bacon.
Chris Vogelman. I'm supposed to be on Chris's show tomorrow. That guy is funny. He just says some of the funniest things. Yeah, Chris. To bacon. Tobago.
I like this comment too. It's like you could have used that seatbelt as a tourniquet. Hold it for landing.
Use that seatbelt as a tourniquet.
Yeah, I have similar stories too. It's not funny.
But life here is good. It's easygoing. What I like about it is it's a constant temperature. I don't have to worry about winter clothing or turning up the heat. It's cold outside. No, I live in shorts and a t-shirt.
Nice. The island life for sure, right?
Yeah, yeah, and flip-flops.
And
I
flip-flop.
hate you. I hate you. I'm sorry, but I do. I live in Chicago.
No,
Don't get me started.
usually when I go to Port of Spain, I would be in my shorts, a t-shirt,
Oh,
and a flip-flop. If it's raining, then I put on my tennis shoes. But if it's dry, I go down in my flip-flop for my sandals. Yeah.
Hey, we're getting ready to wind down. Believe it or not, the hour has flown by. So I want to hear from the birthday girl. Any questions or parting thoughts from the birthday girl?
Well, it's just been a pleasure to spend the morning with all of you to meet Larry and Christine for the first time. I've been following Larry since very early on when I found Google Plus, so it's a pleasure to finally meet you and to get to try that drink later. I'm excited. I think it'll probably give me a nice little kick at the end of the day. But honestly, just spending time with friends is what makes birthdays worthwhile, no matter what the year is. So it's good to be able to spend this time with my friends here on Plus with all of you guys. So thank you very much for letting me put the Mia Voss tiara on for a minute.
That's funny. Hey, Christine, so any thoughts?
I am hungry. That's what my thoughts are. I need to go eat. I had such a great time. Thank you for just making me feel so welcome. Jim, you definitely have been a light in my life on Google+. Thank you for opening up your world to me. And Larry, all I know is we have to get together.
I know. I was about to say the same thing. We have
We have
to
to get together.
hang out as we used to.
Yes. I'm really excited to be reunited with you and Kit and Greg and Carolyn, of course. Thank you for having me. And Carolyn, you enjoy the rest of your day. And make sure you get a little lime in.
Yeah.
Oh, you bet I will. It's going to be great.
Greg,
Thank you.
I'm sorry. Yeah. Well, it was great. It was great hanging out with everyone. First time, Carolyn. Thank you for all your support. I appreciate it. Christine, my dear, one love.
That's right.
Jim, first time I'm hanging out with you. I love what you're doing. It really resonates well. And thank you for allowing me to tell my story. Appreciate it.
oh, you're welcome. It's our pleasure. It's our honor to have you here with us
And Greg,
today.
I met you. Well, I saw you the first time when you told your story on Google Plus, and I was totally blown away. You're a wonderful human being, and I circled you actually when I saw that story. And you're just a fantastic person, sir. And Kit, I will come and cook for you. I'm
All
excited.
right. We're all going to Kit's house when that happens.
Yeah, I'll be there for sure.
Not in the winter time. Not in the winter time, though.
No,
Yeah.
I don't. Oh, please remember, I don't do the U.S. in the wintertime. My sister lives there, and I only visit her in the summertime. I don't do the U.S. in the winter.
Hey, Larry, I stay in California in the wintertime as well. I don't do the Midwest where my family is either.
Oh, yeah. I love California too, Jim.
Well,
Orlando's not that bad for the winter. It only gets down to about 50.
yeah, Orlando's great. So, hey, Greg, any last words?
It's just great to be on the show again. Happy birthday, Carolyn. And very nice to meet you both, Christine and Larry. I've been also following Larry for a while, and seeing some of the great stuff that he puts out.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you, Greg. Kit?
This has been so much fun. I think this is like the funnest episode we've ever had. It's like just liming out. It's been so much fun. Yeah. I mean, it's such an eye-opener too, because I didn't realize that Caribbean has such close ties with India. So a lot of what you're saying about how the difference in cuisines from Jamaica and Trinidad, we see that in India too. So if you go from one place to another, even within South India where I'm from, the cuisine is very different. Some places offer spicier cuisine, and the same dish is made in like 50 different ways in the 50 states. So I think I relate a lot to what you're saying. So thank you so much for coming on our show, Christine and Larry. And I can't wait to stalk you now. I need recipes, please. My marriage is in trouble.
I think we are family.
Yes, we are family. One love. And Greg, it's so wonderful to have you back. Never leave us ever again. And Carolyn, happy birthday. You might have a surprise on Facebook, so go over there.
Oh, thank you, darling. Oh, you people really are the best. This has been such a fun party.
Yes. And thank you to the Dream audience. I mean, as always, they just make the whole process so much more exciting, and it's just amazing to come back every week and just hang out with all of you. So this is amazing.
Yeah, it is amazing. Christine and Larry, I'd like to offer to you. So we have we've put together what we call the Dream Team, and I'd love to invite you guys to come on and be a part of the Dream Team. You don't really have to do much, but just hang out with us in chats. Kind of be a support. We really support each other and we help each other out in the Dream Team. And what that also means is you can come on the show anytime you'd like to, and we'd love to have either one of you on the show. Larry, it's been amazing to really get to know you. You're the real deal. What we're really all about here on Get Busy is just getting to know people who are real, who are just honest, just really good people doing their best to not only do business for themselves.
You're bringing tears to my eye.
Oh. I mean, not only just be successful in business, but do something to give something back to the universe and make it a better place. Make it a better world for all of us. So that's what we're all about on Get Busy. I would be honored beyond belief if you guys would join us on the Dream Team. I can just feel your good spirits, both of you here. So yeah, please join us. It's been a great show, another great show. I don't know how we keep doing this on Get Busy, but somehow we manage to have really, really good shows every week, and it's because of having guests like you on the show, like you guys, and our Dream audience, and our Dream Team as well. So next week, I'm super excited. Next week we're going to have Manolis, and I'm not even going to try and pronounce their last name, Manolis. But Manolis is a startup. He's part of a startup called Reality Crowd TV, and his whole mission is to help small businesses grow through crowdfunding. And he's doing some really amazing things in his space. And again, his mission is to really help businesses to do better and be better, and to find interesting and unique, creative and innovative ways to get funding. So he's going to be on our show next week. I'm super excited about that. So everybody, thank you so much for joining us this week on Get Busy. You guys are awesome, and we'll see you again next week. Take care, everyone.
Bye, everyone.